You for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us today. We know your time is valuable, and we promise not to waste it. Welcome to the second of our monthly Lunch and Learn series. Sorry about the little delay there. We're having some computer difficulties, but I appreciate you hanging on the line with us. Promise that we won't waste your time today, and it'll be worthwhile for joining us. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping tips to go over. So we will be keeping all the lines muted throughout this call. If you do have a question or comment, there's a chat box on your dashboard. Be sure to ask any questions within that chat, and we will answer them accordingly at the end of the call. Keep in mind also that everything we touch on today during this call is available to active agents. So if there's anything that comes up throughout our call that you want to get detailed information on, jot it down. Give one of our IMDirect marketers a call. Our number is listed here, 855-205-1873. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Also feel free, check out our Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube accounts. We're always updating and adding new material to those sites. Also, for all participants that hang on the call throughout the entire webinar, you'll be eligible to be in a drawing for a prize at the end of our webinar here. We have a great prize today. So getting started, my name is Jeff Sullivan. I'm a national marketer here at IMDirect. Joining me today from IMDirect is Nick Bartlett. He's also a national marketer. Nick, you want to say a few things?
Yeah, I just want to appreciate everyone coming, showing up for this. Thank you.
Perfect. So the focus of today's call is to present a new product that was recently released by Mutual of Omaha. It's the New Beginnings Cancer, Heart Attack, and Stroke. We do have a special guest on our call from Mutual of Omaha. But before we get to our special guest, I'm going to give the reins over to Nick for a few minutes. Nick's going to take just a couple of minutes to discuss our program within IMDirect and how we may be able to help you grow your insurance portfolio and your business. Let me hand it over to Nick really quick. He's going to go over a few things. Let me pull up my screen. And here's Nick.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Yeah, I just kind of want to quickly go over what we do here at IMDirect, how we can help grow your business. First of all, I'm just going to take you to our website here, as you see. We do have quite a few incentives that are exclusive to us that are pretty unique in the sense that they're designed to make sure that the growth in your business is constant and that we kind of take over some of the business expenses that a lot of independents can struggle with. So first of all, we do work with a recognizable carrier that's A+ rated. Obviously, that's being Mutual of Omaha. They do have a full line of competitive products that range anywhere between the senior health and traditional life products, as well as this fantastic cancer, heart attack, and stroke plan. Initially, when you get set up with us, you do get a lead drop, 1,000 pieces. That's kind of dedicated towards the senior market. The best part about those is you can cross-sell a lot of these other products into them, like final expense, the cancer, heart attack, stroke. That's really kind of one of our focuses, is working with that senior market. Also, next is our marketing account. $50 for every application that you get issued through us. So if you consider 10 a month, that's an extra $500 that you can put towards advertising costs, more lead drops, business overhead, those typical areas where a lot of independents can struggle getting extra resources for. And then also we do pay for E&O insurance if it's enough production, or you can just get discounted E&O through us. And we do have some fantastic annual incentive trips. There's also some other incentives that we're working on currently that are in the mix. I'm really just quickly going over these because I kind of want to get to the bulk of the webinar here, but this is what we do here at IMDirect. This is why we're a fantastic FMO to work with. Obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to give one of our IMDirect marketers a call towards the end of this, ask any questions. As of now, I'm going to keep this up until I hand it back over to Jeff, and then he'll keep this ball rolling. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Nick. So yeah, just keep it in mind what Nick went over. Those are just some of the things that IMDirect can offer to our agents out there. Remember, as I stated earlier, the opportunity with IMDirect is open to all of you. Give us a call with any questions. We will be reaching out to you if you're joining us on this call. We'll definitely be giving you a call to follow up with what you thought of the call and our program, and if you have any questions. So now for the moment that you've been waiting for, I'd like to introduce today's special guest presenter. He is the Product Development Manager for Lump Sum Disability and Critical Illness at Mutual of Omaha. His name is Glenn Miller. Glenn, thanks for starting.
All right, that sounds good. Well, Jeff, thank you very much. Again, I apologize. I'm not sure why we're having so many technical difficulties today, but hopefully we can get this through today, and it's of value to everybody out there. So the new beginning. So this is our cancer, heart attack, and stroke policy. We're very happy to have created this and get this out in the field. We feel this is a very valuable product for the people that it will be serving. And as I go through the product today, I think you'll see that value and see why we think we should be able to sell a lot of it out in the field. So a little bit of the background. We developed this lump sum cancer, heart attack, and stroke. We've done it in a couple phases. And the first phase was, we've had the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, come along, and that really is what got us thinking that people needed something to fill those gaps, to fill those open spots when it comes to their medical bills. And cancer, heart attack, and stroke are one of the most common health conditions out there that people have. But the great thing about those conditions, if you can say there's something great about it, is that people are living through them and getting through them and living longer even though they've had these things. But what that does create is that does create money problems, because it costs a lot of money to get the services, to get the operations, to go through the rehab and all the steps that go through to get to a full recovery. So what we did is in phase one, we came out with our lump sum product that is minimal, where it's just focused on cancer and heart attack and stroke. In phase two, we currently do have a critical illness product that we do have on our books today. It's a very good product. The only problem with it is it's about 14 years old, and we are scheduled. We do have the second quarter of 2015 down there, but we will be releasing a new one to replace this one in probably the third quarter of 2015. The great thing about the new product is it's exactly like our current one, so if you are currently selling that product, there's not really going to be a learning curve. What we've pretty much done is just updated some of the product language and the contract language to fit more of today's medical terminology and definitions, so it's better suited to the client. So we got into the market. We said, this is a market that we'd like to get into. How big is it? Well, as you can see, based on some studies that we looked at, and specifically the Eastbridge one, the critical illness has $260 million worth of sales out there. Cancer, $460 million. And it is growing. Every year, this product line has been growing anywhere between 8 and 12% a year. So I think the value out in the public is growing, and I think producers and agents are understanding that and realizing that this is definitely a good market to be in. So who is our target market? Our target market is individuals in need of high deductibles, fillers, small employers, worksite, final expense, those age 50-plus individuals that that have the Affordable Care Act with the new policies, as well as your Medicare supplement advantages, supplement policies, and advantage buyers. As you can see, this is a wide swath of individuals, so it meets a lot of different demographics that you work with every day. Really the value proposition as I get into this, and I'll probably state this at the end of it, is this is a simple product. It fills the gaps. It can also supplement one's income, and it's affordable and provides peace of mind. So again, we believe the target market is wide out there, and I think that's advantageous for everybody out there who works it. A few facts. Everybody likes a little bit of facts when it comes to what they're servicing. Well, 1.6 million new cases of cancer have been diagnosed in 2014. 3 new cases per minute. Now again, not everybody likes facts, but there are people that do like to hear the facts and understand how severe this is. But the real fact here is everyone knows somebody who's had cancer. Maybe not necessarily a heart attack or stroke, but everybody knows who's had some type of cancer, whether it's the simple basal cells, that's usually the start of the cancer process, or the more egregious ones that end up unfortunately taking the individual's life. So it's one of those products that you really don't have to sell or explain to the clients. They understand what it is. They know what they're buying, and they know the risk that's out there. Today, if you go to the next slide, today most of the people, as I said, are surviving cancer. So that's the other thing is, 20, 30, 40 years ago, people who got cancer or had a heart attack and stroke, they tended to die or pass away shortly after, if not immediately during the process. Now these people are living, and most of the time they get back to full recovery, but sometimes they don't, and that's a long recovery period, and so they've had to make adjustments to the life. And so this is where a product where they give them a lump sum benefit comes in handy, so it helps them get through these periods of time. And who doesn't need a little bit of help? Everybody says they can rely on their family, they can rely on their friends. Well, they can only do that for so long. Having that extra funds in the bank to help secure that you can get the right medicine, the right follow-up help, all those things matter, and that's, again, where this product comes into play. So let's talk about the product. We have two products. We have two. We have the lump sum cancer and the lump sum heart attack and stroke. The lump sum cancer, it's a lump sum benefit policy payable on diagnosis of cancer. And that's the great thing about this. So this is at the beginning stages. They don't have to wait until they've had surgery or, down the road. Once they get diagnosed, even before possibly they have surgery or start the chemo or start all these other things that go along with some of these cancers, they get diagnosed, they send in the claim, it passes the muster of the definition of what type of cancer we cover, they get the benefit. So 100% of cancer or malignant melanoma. Our definition of cancer, and that's one of the reasons we updated our other CI product, critical illness product, is we're using the most current definitions out in the medical field. So you'll see in our definition, and what I like about it is it not only tells you what we cover, but it also tells you what we do not cover. So it's really self-explanatory, and it's easy for you as well as the client to know what they're getting. There's a lot of different cancers out there. We cover the vast majority of those, but like those basal cells, those skin type ones, that's an example of one we don't cover because those are so numerous you can't really provide insurance for that type. But the ones that are malignant or internal type cancers, you will get coverage. The heart attack and stroke policy, again, we pay 100% for heart attack and stroke, but we also pay 25% for first ever coronary bypass surgery and first ever coronary angioplasty. So again, these provide great benefits to people that have a good chance of utilizing them as they get older. So this is a benefit they will see, they will utilize. So how does it work? Going on, these policies provide cash upon diagnosis. Again, this is simple and clean, easy to explain to your clients on a lump sum basis on the benefit amount selected. So depending on what they select, that's what they're going to get. Now, the great thing about this benefit is you can use that money for whatever reason you want. Replace lost income, pay insurance deductibles, hire home health care aides, travel expense. I mean, I hate to say it, but if you have a bad type of insurance or cancer where it becomes terminal, maybe you want to take that money and go on a trip. So that's the great thing about that. They can do anything they want with this money. It puts it in their hands and gives them the choice to do what they want. Going on to the next one, upon diagnosis of cancer, the insured receives a lump sum payment. Now, once the benefit is paid, the policy ends. But now you can see on this, we offer up from $10,000 up to $50,000. We have lifetime, which is normal. But what is kind of unique about ours is we offer a term coverage, the 10, 15, 20, and 30 years. And this is similar to your term life insurance type policy. It's a little bit cheaper. It narrows the scope of how long we cover them, but it also helps with the demographics and the type of income people that you're dealing with. If they want to maybe save a few bucks and only cover themselves for a few years versus the lifetime, they can do that. So that's a nice thing about this product. We offer individual with children and in family coverage, and then you can also get some riders with it. We'll talk about those riders in a little bit. Issue age is 18 to 99. So again, a big swath of people can utilize this product, and we don't cut them off at a certain age. The other thing, the normal thing is we do have a 30-day wait once you start, but again, this is guaranteed renewable. Going on to the next one, you got the lump sum. Again, paid upon diagnosis. You got your 100% for heart attack and stroke, 25% for coronary artery surgery, bypass. Again, this is payable once per insured. Some people out there have multiple coronary artery bypasses or something, but we do pay for the first one, which is a good thing. 100% of the benefits paid, the policy ends. Now, with the heart attack and stroke, there is a bill chart. With the cancer only, there's not, so you just have to answer the health questions. And I'll get into the health questions part in just a minute, so I just want to throw that out. So going on to the next page, again, the benefit amounts are $10,000 to $50,000. You got the term policies, you got the coverage. It's basically the same thing as the cancer, heart attack, and stroke. So again, we go 18 to 99. So again, once you learn one product, you pretty much know the other. You're just changing the conditions that you're looking at. So we go to the optional riders. We have 4 optional riders: cancer, heart attack and stroke, intensive care unit, and cash value. Now, the reason why we created the first 2, the cancer and heart attack, is say you've had cancer in your family, so you want to load up on cancer and get the $50,000, but no one in your family has ever had a heart attack, so maybe just to play it safe, you only want $10,000 of that. So in your base policy, you'll do $50,000 on the cancer, and then you may want like a heart attack and stroke rider for $10,000 just to give you the combination of the 2. You can have the same amounts, or you can have different amounts, and that's why we created the riders. So let's talk a little bit about the riders. The cancer rider, as you can see, the benefit amounts from $10,000 to $50,000. The face amounts cannot exceed what the base is. So whatever the base is, so whatever your client is more worried about. If they're worried about cancer, then start with a cancer base. If they're worried about more of a heart attack and stroke, go with the heart attack and stroke, and then add the cancer rider on there if they want different amounts. Again, now we do have issue ages 18 to 64 over there, but that should be 18 to 99. We'll get that corrected next time. And then this is subject to underwriting questions, and we'll talk about those questions in just a few minutes. And again, this cancer rider is available on lifetime and term coverage. Your heart attack and stroke rider, again, the same rules apply. Benefit amounts the same. The issue age is 18 to 99, not 18 to 64. So again, the rider and the base, the cancer or the heart attack and stroke rider and the heart attack and stroke base are basically the same benefits. We've just created one to be a rider so you could play with the types of benefits and the amount that you want. And again, this is available on lifetime and on term coverage. Now let's talk about the intensive care unit. What I like about this product or this rider is it focuses on those people that are worried about paying their hospital bills. So if they want to add this on there, they can get benefit amounts between $250 up to $1,000 a day. And this is for intensive care units. So more than likely, if you do have a heart attack or stroke, you're going to probably spend some time in there. So this is a good rider to have. Issue ages are 18 to 64. Payable maximum of 30 days during the period of confinement. So, and you can use this more than just once. Benefits will not be reduced on benefits available for the insured, so it won't reduce the base policy on it. There will be some additional questions for the intensive care unit rider. I think there's 4 additional questions, and I'll touch on those in just a second. And then, you know, we put this one at the bottom there. When an insured reaches age 65, the ICU benefit room indemnity benefit in force, gosh, if I could spit this out, will reduce by 50%. So there's a little caveat there. So if you are 60, it won't reduce until you're 65. There's a 5-year kind of waiting period there. So just a little red tape to look at, but it's a good rider, and again, we think it provides benefits that people are looking for. The next one is the cash value rider. This is similar to, it's a different name, but it's similar to your ROP, return of premium rider. But what's great about this rider is it accumulates a percentage of benefit over time, and you can see the percentage there. But the great thing about it is most ROP riders are upon death. So it really doesn't do the insured actually any good. I mean, it does their beneficiaries, but the insured it doesn't. What a cash value rider does is over time, it's say year 15, they decide that they need, you know, whatever percentage that has accumulated over time, they can cash that in then and get that money now. So it's almost like building a little savings as you go along there. Or you can wait till the very end and the person can die and then leave it to their beneficiaries. So that's the kind of nice caveat with the cash value rider, and that's why we created it, just to kind of give the client a little more options other than receiving it upon death. Coverage options. As I mentioned earlier, we have individual plus children, and then we have family. I think you'll see our definitions for family and for children to be pretty wide, so we're pretty much covering everybody here, which is nice, and as well as the spouse. Again, there's a few caveats there, but the main thing is we do cover families as well as spouses on there, so that's something that kind of, again, opens up your market a little bit. This is unisex rated, and then the conversion from a term coverage. Now, we realize that some people, starting out of the gate say, oh, I just want a 10 or a 15 year. And then so they've had the product for a while, say 3 or 4 years, and they say, you know what, gosh, it'd be nice if I would have got a lifetime. Well, with this conversion rider, they can get that. And all we do is from after year 1 to year 10, after year 3 to year 10, they can convert the policy to a lifetime policy. And then that way they don't have to go through underwriting again, and they'll get reissued at the new age, but they won't have to go through underwriting. So it's a nice little perk. It at least gives them a way out. If your client's unsure if they should jump between one or the other, you can at least give them this as a way out to say, if you do go with the term, you do have time after you've had it for a while to switch over to lifetime. Pre-existing conditions. Pre-existing conditions are normal. I think we all know what they are or what they're about. Ours is a 12-12, and this is normal. If you look at all the competitors out there with these type of products, they have a pre-existing condition. So I won't get into it too much other than to say it's a normal pre-existing condition. With the limited underwriting that we're doing, this is just another way to kind of help protect the product so we're not getting too many early claims, thus hurting the pricing of the product, and then we'd have to do something with that down the road. But normal pre-existing condition limitation. Going on, there's no policy fees. As this is a little behind, but our rate quote, we do have it out on WinFlex. It is available today. It's a nice, simple quoting software system that you can utilize. Premium savings, if your clients do a bank service plan or BSP, they'll get a $1 discount, which is nice, which helps. Again, it helps them as well as it helps us. And we do expect errors and omissions insurance to be available. So the next one is, okay, so where are we selling this? Well, so far we got it approved in 40 states. As you can see, all those green ones out there are the approved states, and we're working on the others. Maryland and Vermont are going to be released in 3 days on the 13th. And then Connecticut is recently approved, but we won't get that rolled out until probably 4/1. But as you can see, we have the majority of the United States approved, and there's probably about, I would say of the 10 or 11 left, probably about 6 or 7 of those we will get. It's just those are the tough states, or California, Florida, all those states. If you know anything about insurance, it sometimes takes a very long time to get them approved in those states. But we are continuing to work to get those approved. So let's talk about underwriting. Another great thing about this product is express underwriting. Simply yes and no knockout questions. So again, these are face amounts for $50,000 and below. That's what's great about this product. It's a simple concept, it's a simple benefit, and now we have simple underwriting. So if your client can go through and answer no to these questions, for cancer, if they're doing the heart attack and stroke, they answer no to those questions as well as pass the height and weight chart, which is pretty liberal, they're going to get coverage. That's a great thing about this. Now, if you do end up having a client that gets a policy, say for $30,000, and then later on wants to add another $30,000, now that's where once you get above $50,000, the underwriting requirements are going to go up. There may be additional like MIB, pharmaceutical, telephone interview. It kind of depends on how much they get. But once they get above the $50,000 mark, we definitely will be doing an MIB and pharmaceutical. And depending on how they answer the questions or what we see on those, we may do a telephone interview. Our underwriting outcomes are, it's either standard, we're going to either issue them standard, or we're going to decline them. So any person who answers yes to the health questions will be excluded for coverage. Again, I don't know how simple, more simple we can get this to be. So they answer no to everything. They go to heart attack and stroke and answer the heart, or path, height, and weight chart. they're going to get issued. So uninsurable medical conditions. Now, if you'll look at these conditions and then see our application, we're basically the same questions that are on our application are pretty much our uninsurable conditions. In fact, that's what they are. So again, but it's your standard stuff. It's your age question. You know, have you been advised, you know, for to have medical surgery or some type of treatment going on? I mean, if someone, you know, has that lump on them and they've had a little bit of a test done but don't know the results, we don't want them applying at that point. So again, we want them to have those test results finalized before they apply. But it's your standard stuff. Are you currently receiving certain treatments? And then we talk about your pap smears, colonoscopy, and those type of things. So kind of standard stuff for cancer-type products. If you go to your heart attack and stroke, again, there's just a few more things. This is more related to, you know, now we're talking about peripheral vascular disease and the treatment of coronary artery disease. So again, a little more in-depth questions specifically for heart attack and stroke. But as you can see, it's straightforward. So, you know, everybody has health conditions. It just depends on the type of condition they have or the severity. And again, we're cutting to the chase with these type of questions where we're going straight at what are the conditions that affect the either heart attack or stroke or cancer, and we're trying to exclude those, at least for this time being. And if those people develop those conditions later on, they're going to get diagnosed, and then they're going to get the coverage for it. Intensive care unit, again, these are pretty much the questions that we're asking on the application. So again, there'll be 4 questions for intensive care unit. So let's look at the application. That'll be the next one here. When we look at the application, again, it's a basic application. Indicate what type of product you want, what benefit amount, you list the writers, you get in your type of coverage, coverage options. Again, all pretty straightforward. Fill those out so we know what the client wants. As we go to the next page, we're just basically asking insured information, demographic information. Again, nothing unusual from that. Again, name, address, all those normal things, who's part of the family and stuff. If you keep going, we also ask about, go to the next one. The next one's the other coverage, replacement information. We just want to know if they have other coverage and stuff, so we're looking into that. Now let's get into the health questions. So there's going to be 2 questions that will be asked on every application, whether it's cancer or heart attack and stroke, and that's these 2 questions. So the first one's your age question, which is typical, and then your next one is you've been advised by a medical professional to undergo treatment, further diagnostic. Again, that's that. We're trying to get those people that know that something's going on, they're getting testing done, but they haven't got the results basically yet. So hopefully everybody can answer those no. So when you go on to the next, you got the next 2 is the cancer question. So in essence, your cancer, if you apply for cancer only, you have 4 questions to fill out. The first 2 that everybody does, and then these next 2. Again, now we get into, have you received treatment, advised treatment for internal cancer, leukemia, all that. And our definition of cancer, I would advise you to look at the definition of our cancer, and that should help you explain. So if your clients have questions, well, what does cancer mean? I mean, there's 100 different cancers. We do get pretty in detailed into our definition of what cancer is and what our expectation of cancer is. So it should help you understand what type of cancer we cover, and then you can hopefully explain that to your clients to put them at ease that, yes, we're covering the vast majority of cancers here. It's just mainly those basal cell, those type 1s that really don't count as internal type cancers. So as we go on to the next, we have 4 questions for heart attack and stroke. And again, these were presented earlier in what we don't cover. And in essence, again, pretty straightforward. We basically just want to know, have they had cancer, or did they have, or I'm sorry, have they had a heart attack or stroke recently, or symptoms of it? And if they had, that is going to exclude them. But if they haven't, they can, they can answer all these questions no. We talk about high blood pressure, which is a normal one. But again, what we're looking for is those people with high blood pressure that is just way out of whack, and it continues to be out of whack. And those are the people that are predetermined or probably going to have a heart attack and stroke. So again, we want to exclude those type of people. And then we do talk about diabetes. So we go to the next one. We talk about our intensive care unit benefit rider. Again, we have 4 questions for that. I think this is a great benefit for people. And so again, if they can answer no to these questions, they should be able to, they will get the rider from that aspect. All right, so I've kind of raced through the application. We've talked about the benefits. We've talked about what it can provide. This is truly a simple, easy product to understand, and I believe an easy product to sell and convey to your customers because they already know. They already know what cancer is about. And they know what it can do, the effects that it can do, and that the long-term effect, and that it is going to take extra resources to help get them through those periods of time. So with that, what I wanted to do is show even some of our competitors. There's competitors out there, Cigna, Aetna, Assurant. They all have products that are similar to ours. I think we do have a few standouts. We do offer the term coverage. Our benefits don't reduce. Our base benefits don't reduce after age 65. Again, we cover all the families and stuff. We have a great name. Mutual of Omaha has a great name. We pay out millions and millions of dollars every month in claims, whether it's cancer, whether it's disability or long-term care. I mean, we're a well-known commodity out there that I think people can have faith in, that they know that if they do file claims, we're going to pay them, and I think our record shows that, and you can speak well to that. So again, just to throw out some competitors to show what's out there, but we do believe, based on our pricing, and that's the other thing I forgot to mention is our pricing is one of the best out there. We believe we are in the top 1 or 2, specifically with these competitors, or really with almost any competitor out there that is selling limited cancer-type products out there like ours. So we feel confident we have a great price product. The questions are simple. It's an easy application, and we have quick underwriting in the respect that you send that in. This is supposed to be JEDI or express underwriting. It goes through. Most of them, if it's in good order, should auto-issue, meaning that it should issue within 2 days. And so you should start getting your policies back to you within a week or so after once it hits our office here. So we have a lot of positive things that we believe our product does offer you, and we're looking forward to you guys selling it. So new business processing, I guess questions. I was missing one there. But yeah, I guess with that, Jeff, I'll turn it maybe back to you, and we can see if there's any questions and kind of go from there.
Perfect, Glenn. I appreciate it. If you do have questions, specific questions at all, we do have probably just a few more minutes here. If you want to type those into the chat, anything that you may have for Glenn specifically, we can get that taken care of, and he may be able to answer those questions for you. If it's something, I am direct related, or some of the things that Nick went over earlier, if you just want to jot those questions down and give us a call. Like I said, we will reach out to all of you that are on this call right now and just see what you thought about it, if it'd be beneficial for you. So anything specific to the New Beginnings that you may want to ask, you can put that in your chat right now. But I just want to thank Glenn for joining us on the phone call today, and also thank everybody out there for hanging with us. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. But Glenn, thanks for joining us. Very beneficial having you on here. You know your stuff. Since you were one of the creators, and you went through the whole process with everybody as this product was getting developed. It's great to have somebody like you on the call. So I really appreciate you joining us today.
Great. Glad to be here.
Perfect. So if you have questions, let us know. We're going to do our prize drawing now. I know that's why everybody's on the call with us, because we get our prize drawing that we always offer on our Lunch and Learn series. Let me pull up one screen here. Today we have a really good prize. It's actually a Mutual of Omaha golf umbrella and some golf balls that go along with it. If I can get my screen pulled up, give me just 1 second. Actually, there it is on your screen there. So, Nick, you want to give me a drum roll, please? We'll go through this real quick. Winner today is Edward Guerra. Ed's out there. Ed, you just won yourself a golf umbrella and some Titleist golf balls. So, Ed, we will be getting in contact with you. If you signed up with us, we'll have your information. We'll get that sent out for you. Once again, just want to thank Glenn. Doesn't look like we have any questions from anybody. So, once again, I want to thank Glenn for joining us today. If you have any questions about the New Beginnings product, or anything that I Am Direct can help you with, feel free to give us a call. And then also, don't forget to join us in March. We actually have our Lunch and Learn series that we do once a month. So thank you for joining us in February. But March, we'll introduce the benefits of using field technology in the insurance market. So we're going to be going over some technology-based items, whether it's an e-app or just some of the programs that we have for you to use here at IMDirect. So we hope to see some more of these names on our screen here come March. And once again, thanks for joining us. And Glenn, thanks for joining us. Hopefully everybody has a great day. Thank you.